Stop the presses! The hockey world has just been flipped upside down. It's a literal earthquake in the NHL. The unthinkable has happened. Artemi Panarin, the Breadman himself, is no longer a New York Ranger. Can you believe it? Just as we approach the Olympic roster freeze, the foundation of Manhattan shakes. This isn't just a transaction, it's the end of an era at Madison Square Garden. The lights are dimming on Broadway as we try to process the seismic shift that just decimated the Rangers lineup. Why now? How does this even happen at the most critical juncture of the season?
The ink is still wet on a deal that defies logic. Here is the breakdown. Panarin heads to the sunshine of Los Angeles, but the price paid by the Kings is staggering. New York lands the crown jewel, elite prospect Liam Greentree, along with the Kings' ransom of high-round draft picks. We're talking about a complete tactical pivot. Financially, this is a masterstroke of cap gymnastics. By shedding Panarin's massive contract, the Rangers clear the runway for a total roster reconstruction, avoiding a looming fiscal dead end. And timing is everything. The Olympic roster freeze was the ticking time bomb in the room. General managers across the league were forced into a corner, needing to pull the trigger before the midnight lockout or risk being paralyzed for weeks. The Kings are weaponizing their future for a shot at the Cup, while the Rangers are betting the house on Greentree's elite ceiling. It is a cold-blooded calculation executed under the most intense pressure the NHL has seen in years.
But for the New York Rangers, this isn't just a trade, it's an admission of guilt. The Broadway blueprint didn't just crack, it shattered under the weight of a stagnant salary cap and a roster that grew old before it grew into champions. Moving your leading scorer isn't a strategic pivot. It's a white flag. It is the definitive confirmation that the previous era has failed. The cap ceiling had become a cage, leaving the front office with no room to breathe and no path to improvement through free agency. They had to get younger, faster, and cheaper, even if it meant tearing out the very heart of the lineup. For the fans at Madison Square Garden, the rebuild label is a bitter pill to swallow, but the reality is undeniable. The window didn't just close, it was slammed shut by fiscal necessity. This is the start of a long, cold winter in Manhattan, where the roar of the crowd is replaced by the quiet, painful realization that the chase for the Cup starts back at zero.
But while the lights go dim on Broadway, the sun is blazing with aggressive intensity over the Crypto.com arena. The Los Angeles Kings haven't just made a trade, they've launched a surgical strike on the Western Conference hierarchy. By landing Artemi Panarin, Rob Blake has signaled that the era of patience is officially dead. The Breadman doesn't just slot into the lineup, he redefines its entire tactical DNA. Imagine the vision, Panarin on the wing, threading needles with telepathic precision to a veteran core that has been starving for a world-class playmaker. Yes, the cost was staggering. Sacrificing Liam Greentree, the crown jewel of the prospect pool, is a move that leaves scouts breathless and the future uncertain. It is the ultimate all-in mortgage. But when you project a top six forward group headlined by Panarin, Kopitar, and Kempe, the competitive calculus shifts overnight. This isn't a gradual ascent anymore. It's an offensive explosion. The Kings have injected pure adrenaline into their system, transforming from a structured playoff contender into the undisputed heavyweight of the West. The message to the rest of the league is deafening. Los Angeles is done waiting for their window to open. They just kicked the door off its hinges.
In the immediate fallout, the verdict is clear. Los Angeles wins the sprint. They've secured a championship-caliber centerpiece while their rivals are still checking the standings. But the marathon? That belongs to the Rangers front office, who just weaponized their future with a haul of assets that could define the next decade in Manhattan. Yet the question lingers in the cold New York air. Did Chris Drury play his cards too early? Was this a masterstroke of asset management, or did the Rangers blink and surrender their soul just as the window was opening? Now, the league enters the silence of the Olympic freeze, a tactical hibernation where GM phones go cold, but the pressure only intensifies. When the torch is extinguished and the NHL returns, we won't be looking at the same league. We'll be witnessing a restructured hierarchy where the Kings are the hunted. What do you think? Did the Rangers fold or find a way out? Drop your verdict in the comments. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and don't miss a single second of the chaos. The ice is melting, and the real season starts now.